come into this world with our eyes closed. And most of us choose to live our whole lives that way. We blindly follow anyone who will lead us, giving ourselves over to anything that provides us with a sense of purpose. For me, it was the Marines. I had enlisted 6 months ago with my best friend, Will. Now we were a half a world away, being deployed into South Korea. We were brothers in arms. No matter how bad it got, I could always count on him to keep me in line.
Cheer up, Mitchell. Can't be all that bad.
I guess it's just finally starting to sink in.
No, this is what we signed up for.
Well, the old man was a leatherneck, so I didn't really have much of a choice.
Yeah? I joined up because of the old man, too. More just to get away from him.
I can't get much further away than this.
All right! Listen up! We have our orders. Inserting an LZ Epsilon. Down and dirty just like we taught you. Everybody know what's going on? Everybody know they're going! Hoorah! Everybody ready? Hoorah! Let's do this! Mitchell, Hines, lead out!
Let's get it done.
North Korea was invading Seoul. We had to push him back. This wasn't just a mission. It was an initiation.
The beginning of the game is set in Seoul, South Korea. We had a mission to destroy some giant flying bird, but before we do that we were going in some pod that drops us to the ground. Now since this is Call of Duty, something always comes up, and that's what it was. Shit hit the fan and our ship and pod got a bit misdirected. Our crewmate almost got sucked in by an air, but we managed to shut the doors just to land in some building. Not even 2 minutes have passed, and after the almost death incident, and our guy died almost twice. Call it professionalism at its finest. Anyhow, we cleaned some bad guys up and introduced to some kind of ability that we possess with our suit, and it's called Land Assist. Just helps us land better and not die, I guess. The atmosphere in Seoul is so good I was just looking at it for 5 minutes straight. The troops, the guy sitting in some large robot suit with a minigun attached to him, tanks, shelter, I mean, goddamn, I'm ready to fight. On the way to complete the main mission we stumble upon some bad guy as well as some drones, and I mean like millions of them. But we took them out with a EMP blast from a turret. After shooting down drones, we got into some kind of hotel and started shooting everyone we see. They were coming from skies, with zip lines on the balconies and so on. On the other side of the hotel we saw our main mission, and that was this giant flying white bird that we need to blow up. So we followed it. On the way, of course, we were shooting some more bad guys and now even start using some thermal bombs. Basically, we can shoot and see enemies through objects and walls. Until this happened.
Metro, get that gate open.
Take fire! Blue!
ID yourselves.
Alice PMC Rescue Force. Transporting a principal.
How's the weather south side?
It's a fucking mess. Better odds taking the east tunnel out.
Copy that.
Good luck. Let's move.
On me.
Atlas. Will, isn't that your dad's company?
Yup.
They got the best gear, best pay. Like you never told me. Want to serve.
Yeah, our best mate Will has a rich dad that owns a private company called Atlas. That's richer than the military. Has the best guns, gadgets, and salary, but he refuses to fight for his dad. He would rather fight for his country. Now since we were serving a country, we have a bomb to serve. Unfortunately our demolition team were KIA, so we had to grab the bomb and hand it to Will so he can plant it, and then this happened.
Over here.
Give me charge.
Okay, time for that. Give me.
Oh, shit. Damn, I think my arm's broke. It fucking hurts. Okay, pull. Shit. Don't worry about that timer. Here, one more time. Pull. Lift it off. You gotta go now. Mitchell, we're out of time. You gotta jump now. It's okay. I'll see you on the other side.
wrong. I need immediate medevac. Hold on. Stay with me. You're gonna be all right. We're gonna get you home.
Day of heavy fighting, U.S. Marines were successfully able to drive North Korean forces out of Seoul. With an additional division arriving soon, hopes are high that we may finally see a return to peace and stability in the region.
Why is one man spared while another taken? To this day, I couldn't give you an answer. But death comes for us all. Eventually. When you lose over 6,000 men in 4 hours, it's easy for one death to become just another number. But all I knew was my best friend was gone, and that part of me wished I had been taken instead. The dead, and they've settled their debts. It's up to the living to pick up the tab.
And so it is time to say farewell to Private William Robert Irons, a man I had the privilege and honor to have under my command. A life is only important in proportion to its impact on the lives of others. By this standard, Private Irons ranks among one of our very best. He leaves behind family, friends, fellow Marines, and a grateful nation. I'm sorry, Mitchell. Will was one of our best. Look, we take care of our own. If you ever need
Excuse me, Private Mitchell. I'm Jonathan Irons. I'm Will's father.
Mr. Irons, I'm sorry for your loss, sir.
I'm sure you are, Sergeant. Private Mitchell, you were Will's best friend. You both paid too high a price for your
It
country.
was an unfortunate tragedy, sir.
It was more than unfortunate, Sergeant. It was unnecessary. Son, I want to offer you a second chance.
Mr. Irons, Mitchell's been discharged with his injuries.
I'm aware of his injuries, Sergeant. At Atlas, we have prosthetics that are 20 years beyond anything the military could offer you. Will told me what kind of soldier you were. You deserve to fight for a military that's as effective as you are. Think about it. Don't let Will's death be in vain. Sergeant.
Okay, everyone knows what to do this time. Get into position.
Our friend Will has passed away. Even though he may not be here physically, here is with us. Now at the funeral we met his dad that wanted to give us another chance in combat. After that sick transition we joined the Atlas training program with our new prosthetic arm. The course seems simple: clear the outside of the house, insides, breach through the door with a mute charge, save the president, clean some more bad guys and get out. However, just as we were about to end our training, our arm started acting a little bit weird. Now Gideon was the guy who shot the president and who is the leader of the group. We jumped into the jeep and cruised around the Atlas to showcase us how powerful they really are. And this is just one of their camps. We went to a doctor and right before the entrance we can see a lot more tech than we had in military. Climbing walls with hands and using shields against bullets. The doctor fixed our arm and it was time to test the new results. And boy did we deliver. We got placed first on a shooting range and grenade tutorials. And it was time to complete and finish the training, by this time escorting the president and hop onto a real mission.
After Korea, I thought I was done, but Irons gave me something to believe in. It's one thing to get your foot in the door. Next, You gotta prove you belong there. I got my first chance 2 months later.
Just over 12 hours ago, Nigerian Prime Minister Samuel Abadoyo was taken hostage while attending an international technology summit in Lagos. We believe this to be the work of the KVA, a leading anti-Western terrorist organization founded by former Chechen separatists. The location and true identity of its leader, codenamed Hades, remains unknown. While the motivation for this abduction is unclear, it is in keeping with a series of bolder attacks attributed to the KVA over the past several years. Your mission is to link up with host nation forces under the command of Captain Ajani and effect the immediate release of the PM.
These amateurs think they understand hostage rescue. We'll show them how it's done. Waiting on you, rookie.
Yeah, hang on a sec, all right? The sync's still off.
Okay. We got it. Things are pretty impressive. Well, try not to fall in love with the toys. Still comes down to soldier the use of them.
Gideon, my men are in position. We're ready to commence operations at your word.
Copy. Roll hard in 5. Try not to get us killed out there, you rookie. Roger that.
Wheels have come off, and it's time to go without them. Before entering the building, we use the fly that gives us vision and sound. We found the Prime Minister of Nigeria, as well as some other guy that was being pointed and later on shot dead. The guy holding the gun was Hades. Apparently he's some kind of villain in this story and a leader of KVA, a terrorist organization. Getting to him was kinda tricky, yet packed with so much action. We jumped on some kind of bridge, and this was our first time using mat grips, aka gloves, that climb on walls. After getting on top of the building, we exploded our way down by using mute charge and some kind of tool to cut circles. We dropped down, killed some guys, and on the walls we used some kind of harmonic devices that let us tag enemies through walls. After successfully tagging them and killing them, we saved the hostages and the Prime Minister of Nigeria. The leader of Nigerian Special Forces got an information about some white van that has our hostage. Apparently they are driving towards a speed road. We went on street and we were attacked by KVA, in waves I would say. They had lots of RPGs, so staying in the middle was the only option. To save some time, we went through some alleys and again killed more of them. Climbed across the wall and went on a road. For a second I thought I was playing Crossy Roads, just Guns Edition. Anyhow, we spotted a van but it was super fast, so we were jumping on buses and shooting the enemy vehicles. After the final wave we jumped onto the van, killed the driver and then the guy next to him. However, we got crushed into a river. At least we managed to save the target and almost drowned ourselves, but Gideon saved us.
Life with Atlas was nothing like the Marines, but I wasn't complaining.
With lives hanging in the balance, Atlas forces moved in swiftly to rescue the hostages.
God damn it, Gideon. I didn't know you were a movie star.
Oh, easy now. I know it's probably the first time your backwoods hillbilly ass has seen someone with a full set of teeth, but don't get carried away.
Well, that's funny, because that's what your mom... Oh. Did you see that shit?
Not bad, right?
You got lucky. KVA's getting better every day.
Whatever happened to that guy we pulled out of the drink anyway, huh?
Irons took that with him. It's fine by me.
Badass, man. Fucking badass.
As you were, son. As you were.
Is there something we can help you with, sir?
Well, a glass would be a start.
I'll do you one better. Gather around, gents.
There's an old military saying. You treat your men like you would your own beloved sons, and they'll follow you into the deepest valley. I lost my son, and it taught me the importance of seizing the moment, of saying what needs to be said when you have the chance. You gentlemen did a hell of a job out there. Lagos has opened up fantastic opportunities for Atlas. And for that, I'm grateful. To you, gentlemen.
It felt good to celebrate. But Gideon was right. We just got lucky. And the KVA was getting better and thinking bigger every day.
hidden behind the protection of technology. Technology is a cancer. I am here to liberate you from this cancer. The world must be reset to its natural state. I am Hades, and I am your savior.
We have a visual on enemy packs in the northern laydown yard. Alpha has engaged multiple targets at GRG Grid Kilo 49er.
Everyone seeing this? All right. We have actionable intel that the KVA are trying to trigger a meltdown in the reactor bay. We're inserting in the south courtyard, and we'll push north. This shit ends in the control room. Get in position.
Disengaging stealth.
KVA is damaged and we won't let the wound heal. You have to press them where it hurts. Now allegedly they want to make an explosion in the reactor building and our mission is to stop it. We used the zipline to come to the ground, kill few enemies, but there was this big machine tank in our way. You know how they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So we used some kind of tracking missile launcher and destroyed the tank. Went down the elevator badass style, killed few of them on the way and even had a chance to use a drone again to clean them all up. As we were approaching to the control room, the doors were rigged. Thankfully our guy survived, but we ran out of time to save the reactor from exploding. The place was falling apart, so we had to run. Now I don't know where our crew went, but magically they appeared in the bird that came and saved us, as well as our guy that survived the door blast did not survive this collapse.
This just in, you're looking at what is obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the Vectron Pacific reactor near Seattle. We have unconfirmed gunfire.
CDC has ordered evacuation of all non-essential personnel within a 5-mile radius.
The National Guard's begun distributing potassium iodide tablets.
This is coming in live. It is raw footage, appears to be some kind of statement from the KVA leader, Hades.
My fellow citizens of the world, today you are afraid. You are afraid because you have been woken from your sleep.
There are some days we never forget. Moments burned into our memory until the day we die. Where were you the day everything changed? 4 years ago, one man tried to destroy our way of life. One man tried to throw the world into darkness. It felt like we could never find our way back. But we did. Together. When you were vulnerable, we gave you our strength. When you were sick, we delivered you the cure. When there was chaos, we brought you order. Stability, safety, a chance to start again. Who are we? We're the way forward.
Welcome to Detroit! 2.5 million people live in camps just like this one. No fucking holiday, but they got food, water, security, all courtesy of Atlas. Now, the KVA have the balls to move in next door. Fuck me. The after effects of the explosion caused all people to be quarantined under Atlas rules and premises. However, the job does not stop for us. We had a mission to grab and get the target back alive from a hospital. His name is Dr. Pierre Daonis, the guy who knows where to find Hades. Before we can actually go to the mission, we got on a bike and went through a security checkup. After that, we stopped and proceeded on foot into a destroyed building. Now, since this building was falling apart, we fell down since the metal road broke, but not only metal broke, the floor as well. Enemies were onto us, so we had to play this one stealthy. We killed one from behind, grabbed his gun and made it out, just to shoot more bad guys and move into the hospital. Only though before we can get into it, we were attacked by a fleet. Now, our only cover was this ambulance truck, so we had to move every now and then to get closer, but at least we captured the doctor. However, this happened while on our way to base.
Reactionary forces are inbound. We got you covered. Now you take the doctor and move out while you can.
Yeah, we got attacked and some people in black that can go invisible saved us. Now we also had a fast way to base, and that's by driving 80 miles trying to survive the shootings, and we did. We came back to the base just to see the badass exit, and that is by this guy shooting down a helicopter and fire explosions coming to us while the doors are closing.
It was as close as we'd ever been. 4 years on Hades' trail, and now we had his number 2. The doctor was the key to everything.
So, we'll begin again. These people, who are they?
So this is what you think of me, huh? You think I'm a rat. Fuck you!
I think you are whatever I tell you to be.
Ilona was one of a kind. Ex-Spetsnaz, now working for Atlas. She could be your best friend or your worst nightmare. They never knew which.
We have the names. Now we just need to know when and where the meeting is.
You might as well kill me. I'm already dead.
Once she got under your skin.
Please, Pierre, work with me. Let us help each other.
It was all over.
It's a single source. Has the intel been verified?
The intel is good. Hades is meeting with his financial backers in Santorini 24 hours from now.
Mr. Irons, the protocols for mounting an assault...
This man is responsible for 50,000 deaths, General. We are going in.
An operation on foreign sovereign soil, it would be an act of war without congressional approval.
Atlas is an internationally registered private company. We don't need Congress. Gentlemen, are we operational?
We're at the ready, sir. You're the trigger.
I want your team on the ground in 6 hours.
On whose authority?
On my authority!
And that's how we ended up in Santorini, Greece. I was gonna say son, and that's how I met your mother, but Ilona is an Spetsnaz. Anyhow, we had to identify the guy that works for Hades, and after we tried, we did. Just to break his neck in the middle of the street and head into their little base to get stood up and drop a drone to clear out few more enemies couple of miles away. And a chance to kill Hades. Now each room was cleaned differently, but it was fun until we had to kill Hades. As soon as we pulled the trigger, we thought everything was over. However, it was everything except that. The Hades double had a bomb strapped onto him. Our drone got destroyed, the real Hades was on the move, only though we were chased by a sniper that killed also few of our guys, but we took him down by an RPG. At least we placed a bomb that destroyed 3 of their vehicles and found Hades. I'm not gonna lie, the guy was tough. I mean, he almost beat Ilona in a fist fight, but we slit his throat because he stabbed us in a prosthetic arm. In his last breaths, he had something to say.
ID is confirmed. Hades is EKIA. I send again. Hades is EKIA.
He knows. Irons knows.
What does Irons know?
Hades' death left us with more questions than answers. But all that mattered was that he was gone. It was the start of a new chapter for all of us.
At last, time ran out for Joseph Chiketze, better known as Hades, leader of the KVA and mastermind behind the devastating attacks of 4 years ago. We recently spoke with Jonathan Irons, founder and CEO of Atlas International, the private military corporation responsible for hunting down and killing Hades. Congratulations, you've achieved what no government was able to.
Thank you, Wendy, but the real heroes of the day are the men and women of Atlas. I couldn't be prouder of what they accomplished out there this week.
There are rumors that the UN will offer you a seat on the Security Council. Can a life in politics be far behind?
Well, I like to get things done, so no. But look at what we've done in New Baghdad. 40 years ago, we pulled out of Iraq with that place in ruins and our tail between our legs. And now, it's a testament to what happens when you put efficiency before bureaucracy.
The last 4 years have been huge for you. In the wake of the KVA attacks, Atlas has become the world's biggest corporation. And you now preside over the world's largest standing military. So what's next for Jonathan Irons?
How's it feel to be the hero of the world? Don't let it go to you.
Gideon, Mitchell, I need to see you, right now.
Ilona, what is it?
Meet me in maintenance room 6A. Don't bring anyone else.
All right, we're moving. Let's find out what the hell she wants.
Since Hades' death, Irons has been suspicious and the facade has been running out. On the drive that Hades gave us was a recording of Irons and Technologies talking about how KVA had been planning new attack not only in America but all around the world. Irons responded with lead though. Get it? Joke with metals. Never mind. Anyways, we got captured and Gideon said he hasn't seen shit, staying loyal to Irons. Now all of a sudden, since we were captured here, steam got from nowhere and we took the Atlas troops out. So now me and Ilona are on the run while the stranger is giving us directions on where to go. We were running, swimming, shooting everyone and got into a speedboat where we unlocked a new gadget. A grappling hook, which was so awesome. We grappled to the top of the building and then we used mag grip to get on the other side to find out that behind our escape was our old military sergeant, Cormac. Gideon and Joker let us escape and said if we were wrong about Irons, he will hunt us down himself. But this was hands down the best mission I have ever played so far. It had lots of actions, different approaches to the problem, but let's move on to the next mission.
You've got questions. It's time for some answers. Until now, we've stayed in the shadows, watching, waiting. We were formed 4 years ago, a US-led multinational unit, codename Sentinel. Our mission, to investigate the KVA attacks and prevent anything like that from ever happening again. But soon it became clear that there was an even greater threat, a man ready to exploit this tragedy for his own gain. After the attacks, Atlas rose to new heights. They took over security for ports, shipping lanes, pipelines. Nation after nation handed over their most critical infrastructure to Jonathan Irons. We realized too late he was surrounding us. But now in the last 10 days, ISA chatter has surged. One word keeps getting flagged. Manticore. Atlas is about to make a move, but we don't know what. It was a risk extracting you, but you're our best shot to find out what Manticore is and stop it. So how about it, Mitchell? Are you in?
Me and the boys and Ilona were hiding behind the waterfall, waiting for our next move to be made. We activated grappling hooks and grappled onto the mountain to spot where we can see Iron's property. Nose gave us an objective, and that was to hack through Iron's CCTV. It was heavily guarded and we had to do it stealthily. After we breached through the doors, we used some guy fingerprints to hack into the system. Now onto the bigger fish to fry. We headed towards Iron's office to get the data on this Manticore, since it's now a trending word here. And we find out a lot about it and moved it onto our drive. However, we got compromised since the system found out about it. So we hid under a vehicle and got into a warehouse and saw a doctor we captured before and Irons together. And they were moving these chemicals onto a plane. Now we rushed out at the top of the warehouse and grappled onto the ship, place a tracker just so we can escape and regroup with our team.
Kingpin, this is Signal 2-3. Tracker has been successfully coupled with the target.
Copy that, 2-3. We've got Pandora in the crosshairs now. Projected destination is Rio Gallegos Air Base. If Irons is planning a strike anywhere in the hemisphere, this would represent an ideal staging point. Our only option is to intercept Pandora in international airspace and force a controlled landing. Coordinates for mid-air rendezvous to follow.
Roger that. I've got a team suiting up now.
It's a big step, Cormac. You'll be hitting Atlas directly. No more working from the shadows.
The start of the mission was sky high. We landed on the plane and placed a bomb to slice the wings off, so the plane can land. After the plane turned on a little parachute for a safe landing, we came down with our jetpacks and fought Atlas armies off. We put the Manticore onto another ship, but the surface that we were on got destroyed. Now we were underground and so were the enemies that we killed while getting back to the top. Although this time while crossing icy bridge, a mecha guy jumped onto us and we had to use some kind of bomb that destroyed the bridge and killed the mecha guy. However, we all slipped down to the bottom with him, just alive. Some under the enemies and attacked one of them underwater. After we found a light at the end of the tunnel, we also found a sniper that helped us took everyone out. At least that's what we thought. Because we drowned again, but this time at the surface, Gideon and a few Atlas guys were there first and captured us all. However, Gideon in the process changed his mind and joined our side by killing other Atlas members. He also told us to pick up a stinger and called a warbird to pick him up, although the plan was a bit different. Instead of picking him up, including with the Manticore, we shot the bird down and he helped us get at least one sample of it, and we jumped on a helicopter, saving our asses once again.
This is Manticore, a biological agent designed to target specific genotypes. If your DNA signature isn't in the Atlas database, you're dead.
So, he can drop this in the middle of a battle. His troops live, ours die.
That's right. Contact with even a single spore is fatal. Chem suits are useless.
Is it operational?
Unknown. But because he produced this sample, he could already be manufacturing at an industrial scale.
If he is, we need to know the where and the how. It's the only way we bring Irons down.
The problem is Atlas has dozens of sites capable of mass production. By the time we put the pieces...
Gideon has the location.
Are you sure he can be trusted?
This mission doesn't happen without him. What other choice do we have?
Target is a former lumber factory in Bulgaria. We'll converge on the rendezvous point and link up with Cormac and his team.
3 minutes to target!
You were right about Irons. Just took me a while to figure it out. Better late than never, right? Went for you, we'd still be stumbling around in the dark. Just like old times, huh?
Kingpin, this is Viper Factory. We're hit. Atlas, EMP.
Exo's failing!
System dead. Cannot hold. Prepare for impact.
Run, Forrest, run. Well, we are definitely running and definitely in a forest, trying to keep our head and asses where it's supposed to be, while being chased and shot from a helicopter. We somehow managed to cross the river and just in the right time our exos got back in function and that's when we can become invisible. Obviously this was a sign that it's going to be a stealth mission at first and that's what it was. Avoiding drones, keep the truck on the cloak bar, taking enemies from the front, back, next to the car, staying still and so on, until we regroup with the crew. Now apparently in that warehouse was a sign of radiation, aka Manticore, so we had to shut it down with a little bit of a firepower, but we also managed to transfer all the data from their servers to learn more about it. And then kill a couple of Atlas guys, as well as stole their tank and obliterated everything that we see and hear.
Shit! We should have scrapped it! One step ahead of you, mate. Nice work, soldier. Once we get this stuff decrypted, Atlas is history.
I am honored to be the first CEO of a private corporation to become a member of the United Nations Security Council. Unfortunately, my appearance today has been clouded by a flurry of speculation that my company is developing a weapon of mass destruction which would be capable of targeting specific ethnic groups. I want to address these allegations head on. Are we developing such a weapon? No, we are not. Because we've already developed it. But with all due respect, the United Nations is a relic from a different time when nations were unique in their ability to solve the world's problems. But that just isn't the case anymore. Primarily because you have outsourced the job to me. I have sent people to die in your wars. So I feel uniquely qualified to tell you, your wars don't work. Which is why my priorities have changed from profits to policy. Because politicians don't know how to solve problems. But I do. So let's be clear. I am here to solve the world's problems. And I believe the world's problems begin with you.
So what the hell was that?
Couldn't tell you, mate. But it sounded an awful lot like Irons declaring war.
We took out his WMDs without Manticore. Atlas didn't stand a chance.
Come on, Mac. You need to see this.
Talk to me.
We cracked the encryption on the last set of uploads.
What am I looking at?
Potential targets. Irons had a fallback plan if Atlas was ever backed into a corner.
A preemptive strike. He's gonna try to knock us out before the fight has even begun.
A direct attack on the U.S.? Are we sure Irons is even up for that?
So what's the play? No way Atlas can hit them all at once.
San Francisco. The entire Third Fleet is in the bay. I need you two on the ground. Now.
The start of the mission was a bit unexpected. We were in a car chase, however every time we operate the vehicle we get sent to who knows where. For this mission and location we got sent on a bridge in San Francisco, where we fought on the bridge, located and stopped a van with two Atlas guys, with hands behind their backs. However, when we opened the trunk they had millions of drones not going for us but for the bridge. Half of the bridge exploded. Irons outdone himself. Pretty short mission, but there was part 2.
Sentinel 01, request sit rep. What's happening out there? CP-21, acknowledge, over. Major Cormac, we need a sit rep immediately.
Got movement on TRP 3 and 5. Confirm changes on those cargo ships. They're attacking the fleet. It'll be a massive...
At ease, Lieutenant! How many assets do I still have active in the area?
Scanning. Stand by. Connecting you now.
All signal teams, radio check.
Signal 2-2, radio check. Charlie Lima. Signal 2-1, loud and clear. So where the fuck are we supposed to be now?
Solid copy. Descend and hold position at the carrier. I'm en route.
Jesus.
Atlas is trying to take control of the carrier's weapon systems. We need to get jammers on those rail guns and biotechnicians some time.
Part 2 of this mission was pretty much simple. We need to take the control of the guns and destroy a couple of warbirds and ships. Sounds easy enough, but first thing we need to do was placing 2 jammers on the side and also clean bad guys up. While heading for the terminal we also got sort of a new tech. Night vision. But to be honest, it's better when it's turned off than on, since this gives you more pain the good. After getting to the control panel, we started controlling the guns and destroying Atlas's warbirds and sinking down 2 ships.
The world is asking one question. Why did I attack the United States? The United States has had the world in a constant state of war for over 100 years. Time and again, we have seen the catastrophic results of this belligerent, militaristic policy. These wars haven't led to resolution or peace. These wars have only led to more wars. The United States has set the agenda because they wielded the biggest stick. Well, no more. This is not the beginning of a war. This is the end of all wars.
After San Francisco, the entire free world turned against Atlas. Irons entrenched himself at his headquarters in New Baghdad. All communications ceased. Both sides knew what was coming. Our mission was to fly in with the 37th Airborne during the initial shock and awe campaign. From there, we would break off and infiltrate the Atlas Command Center, taking out Irons. For Cormac, it was the end of a journey. He'd been waiting 5 years for this day.
Last minute change of plan. We'll be flanking around from the east and the north, covering blue team on their sortie over the target.
Yes, sir. Guess I've got the soft option.
There are no soft options on the table. I just don't want all my assets in play at once. We're only gonna have one shot at getting the bastard.
That's all we'll need.
I know it. Just stay alive. You're our star witness when we drag his ass in front of the Hague.
Looking forward to it.
All right, good luck.
There was nothing more to say. We all knew what had to be done. This was the beginning of the end. For one of us.
Now this mission was said to be in 3 parts, I guess, since the first one was pretty much just zooming around in a plane, and to be honest, if I turn on my timer, I would probably be competing with a world record, since I wasn't letting off a control button from my keyboard, since that gives me a boost.
2-1, we're bearing 315 magnetic at Cherub's 4. Distance 2 nautical miles from the target. Over.
Connecting the heads up to the battlefield network.
Our main target is Atlas Command Center, where Irons is directing the war effort from deep inside. Multiple MD turrets have been placed as air defenses around the city. We need to take them out in order to reach the command center.
Distance to target 200 meters.
Switch off heads up and prepare for touchdown.
We landed in New Baghdad, trying to have a safer landing as possible. This is my second favorite mission because of few things. The number one was we can grapple, and the first thing I did was grapple on a warbird and kill a pilot. Now what's cool is if you can actually get inside and kill the pilot himself. The second part was we can use a turret to destroy other ones, and the third and last thing was we can use a grapple on a mecha guy if we approach from behind. Basically completing all the objectives just in a badass version and approach. What wasn't cool and badass was the manticore Irons produced and used on us. Fortunately enough, Gideon, Ilona and us survived, since we are from Atlas, so we are not affected, but the people like Nox were. Unfortunately, he passed away and we got captured.
I've cheated death many times. Got right up close to it. It was never something I welcomed, but with it comes serenity, a clarity that you'd never expect. You experience the present as the inevitable destination of every step you've taken towards it. And in that same moment, you see a different path stretch out in front of you. The path you could have taken at the first step. We are all on this road together. The good men who fight for wrong causes, and the corrupt men who cloak themselves in righteousness. Each one of them convinced they are on the side of the angels. But every journey has an end, and death can only be cheated for so long. We had thrown everything we had at Atlas and come up short. Now it was time to pay the price.
Stay alert. Any detail can make the difference.
What is this place?
Used to be a research lab. Looks like Irons modified it since.
Research for what?
Medical advancements, something like that. Doesn't matter. It's a prison now.
Prisoner era started, but not for too long. The gang got captured, including Cormac in the elevator. Now these Atlas prison guards were a bunch of ruthless pieces of shit, to the point where I just wish I can get my hands on the gun and start blazing them. But we had to be patient. Now we got hooked into some kind of dungeon and Irons came by and shot the Cormac in the body and destroyed our arm. We fell unconscious and woke up with a Gideon Soham unarming the guard. We snuck through the prison and killed one of the guards and took his suit. Gideon gave us the pistol, and as we were opening the door via panel, the guards came and we had to kill them. We had one arm that was working, so we can't reload and we had to swap weapons after we ran out of ammo. While finding the exit, we found out on screen that Irons was planning to launch missiles all around the world in less than 2 hours. So Gideon and I went on a warbird and warned Kingpin about it, as well as our position to come and rescue us. Hopefully they got our signal. Now one of the mecha guys jumped on a bird and thankfully he died, so we stole his suit and started killing everyone, and this was such a relief and enjoyment. All the bullying got projected onto them back. Now that's a karma. Now with this suit we opened the doors, but we also got blasted to the other side of the prison, aka exit. So we survived and Ilona came to pick us up with a truck.
Stay with me. We're almost there.
Almost there. Almost there. It's not much further. Don't stop. Don't.
Come on. Cormac!
So what now?
Now we finish this thing. We're the only ones who can stop Irons from launching Manticore.
It's 3 of us. Against an army. It's suicide.
You're right. But it's what he would have done.
Okay.
You got any ideas?
Just one.
It was a plan only Gideon could have come up with. A frontal assault on Iron's stronghold using the 2 mech suits we found back at the base. Drones would fly us in. After that, we'd be on our own.
The Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this bitch. Iron is going to pay, and not only that, whole Atlas will. Not only Gideon and I were on a mission, but the whole crew was cheering for us. 2 men against a giant. We used mecha robots to go underwater and destroy the rocket from launching away. Used all of our ammunition from bullets to missiles. But hey, at least we stopped it. Now Mitchell forgot how to walk. Thankfully our brother Gideon was carrying us through the building where Iron was in. We of course helped him against Atlas, and as soon as we tried to walk again, Irons was on the other side of the glass. Unfortunately, he hacked into our exosystem and did not kill us. I still question myself on why though. After a wasted chance, we managed to unlock our exosuit and now we are a normal human again. Gideon's exo couldn't be unlocked, so we ran for Irons, knocking everyone out of the way. It was a chase on another level. We jumped on Irons and he was hanging onto our prosthetic arm. We decided, you know what, the only place to go now is back to where we were, and that was a military guy that lost his arm, best friend Will. So we used our knife and sliced it. The hand that Irons gave us was returned, but we also dropped a knife as a gift. Having technology is great, but technology can never become humans. They suppress our freedom and threatens the stability on a global level.
Irons gave me a second chance, and I gave it back. He thought he could solve the world's problems. If he did have the answer, he took it with him to the grave. But he was right about one thing. This wasn't the end. It was just the beginning.